get back to this morning's breaking news out of Montgomery County. The two people involved in a small plane crash are now in the hospital. And as of about 2 hours ago, that plane was back on the ground.
We have team coverage this morning with Matt Gregory and Jess Arnold, both live on the scene. We're going to start with you, Matt. Matt, it's been a few hours since everyone was rescued. What's the scene like there now?
Yeah, I mean, we got this new location here we're going to be able to show you right now. You can see the plane is on the ground, right, and you can see the damage done to the front of the plane. And then up above, you can see power crews are working to make sure that the tower itself and the power lines are both sort of stabilized, as well as able to actually, facilitate power moving through them. But let's get you to a timeline of what happened, because this was a 7-hour rescue practically. It was around 5:40 Sunday night that police tell us a single engine plane crashed into a Pepco transmission power line tower, which is in the Montgomery Village area of Gaithersburg. Now, rescue crews worked through foggy conditions to get to the plane, but you have to remember that in addition to cutting off power there, this power line not only was energized, but so was the tower. So while the plane was dangling for hours, crews had to wait until the energy came off of all of that to actually be able to get to the passengers inside the plane. So let's talk about that. Inside the plane, two people. Patrick Merkel of Washington, D.C. piloted the plane. We're told by police his passenger was Jan Williams of Louisiana. Now, this rescue, like I said, took hours, and it wasn't until about 12:15 or so they were able to actually secure the plane to make sure it would not fall. And then around 12:25 this morning is when crews got to the actual plane. And by 12:30, both people had been rescued. They were taken to nearby hospitals to be treated for hypothermia and trauma injuries. And at the same time, when talking with rescue crews from Montgomery County, they said this daring rescue of what could have been just a terrible, terrible tragedy took the work of several agencies working together.
Everybody working together in unison is what makes this successful. Both the two victims in the aircraft, as well as the team that was from the Pepco, as well as AUI, and all of the fire rescue folks here. So it goes through training, you go through the capabilities of having skills, and the means to be able to effect this rescue and get these folks off to an area hospital is what we come to work every day to do.
Yeah, so you hear it there, just the concerted effort of all of them working together to get those two people safely to the hospital. Despite their injuries, it could have been much, much worse, especially when you see, what you're working with here. This is a massive transmission power line, one that I'm sure was certainly very difficult to get it to actually come down. Now, what's happening right now, like I said, you can see that the crews are out there kind of examining the tower, taking a look at what kind of structural damage it may have suffered. And on the ground, we have the plane, which has been down for the last 2 hours or so. Now, as far as what's going to be happening today, obviously the NTSB will be here looking over some of the issues that led to the actual crash itself. You'll have utility crews assessing the damage for several hours, and obviously everyone kind of going through and trying to figure out exactly, how this happened and what can be done, what can be learned from this particular event.